Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright and blowy day. It is Wednesday the 17th of April. I'm in the reading Nook with a nice hot cup of tea. And a box to continue unboxing. What I've got in here is this Goodman Games Yearbook number 8, the year that shall not be named. Which of course is going to reference to the awful year of essentially the first year of the pandemic, I am guessing. So let's try and get this out of the package. Here we go. So, this has got content for Dungeon Crawl Classics, Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankmar, and Mutant Crawl Classics. So, the year that shall not be named, it was the year we all learned to game online. That's the truth. And we shall celebrate it for that. In the latest annual community yearbook from Goodman Games, the company celebrates what made this year special. Online connections brought regular gaming back to our lives, and the convention season took a whole new look. As always, this volume contains a wealth of new DCC RPG content, including new Monster Fumble tables and new Mighty D rules. There is an interview with TSR legend Russ Nicholson, a new mini adventure, and pictures and photographs from this year, the year we want to forget but can't help remembering. Now, every year, Goodman Games, since 2013, has done an annual like this, celebrating not just the games that it puts out this year, highlighting them, bringing them to people's attention, but also the community that's built up around its games, most obviously Dungeon Crawl Classics, but also Mutant Crawl Classics as well. We open up. Nice, clean, simple, and basically got the credits page and the editorial from Joseph Goodman, and the contents page as well. There we go. And we've got an interview with Russ Nicholson. The late Russ Nicholson, who contributed an awful lot of artwork to various things, fantasy things, the look of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and also Fighting Fantasy books. A really noticed artist, and also consequently in the Fiend folios, you can see some of that artwork there. Really fantastic stuff. He was a fantastic artist. So this is just looking back at some of his artwork and the pieces that he was drawing for them for various publishers. I'm really looking forward to giving that one a read through. And then we've got a table of Monster Fumble. So essentially, of course, you roll a one on your 20-sided die, and your player characters are going to screw up, but you don't. But it's always good to see the monsters fumble as well. So we have a table for devils and demons, and dragons and giants. So lots of those. Undead and elementals. So, for example, it might be for the undead, the sights and sounds of combat distract the undead and it falls to the bottom of the initiative order. For the remainder of the combat, this can be only applied once per creature. If the result is rolled a second time, the same creature, use the next highest fumble instead. Or for elementals, the attacking ability opens a momentary rift to the plane of air, causing countless tornadoes and howling vortex-like winds to batter everyone in a radius of 1 mile per hit die level of the elemental creature. This hurricane-like windstorm topples everything not built of stone or iron in its path, scouring the earth with a savage ferocity for 3d6 damage. Essentially, that damages everyone. That's not a good fumble for everyone. Then 7 mighty deeds from the city of 7,000 smokes. This is a set of mighty deeds and so on for your Dungeon Crawl Classics Lankmar game. Lankmar essentially is based upon the books by Fritz Leiber, and it brings that setting to life. It lets you be thieves and cut purses and have adventures along the way. And there's some excellent scenarios for it. Dwarven Rune, we've basically got Dwarven Rune tracing, mighty deeds of rune-powered combat, as well options for your dwarf character, I suppose. Goodman Game tries to change the world. Images of 2020. So that gets a bit political. You know, we're using the cast of the gang from Dungeon Crawl Classics to say, you know, it's time to vote. This is for the American election 2020. And then going live on Twitch, Goodman Game evolves in 2020. So this is essentially charting Goodman Games' move from meat space to virtual space, and just some of the icons they used throughout. It's nice to see this artwork produced, all of it. It captures a feel of the year. That, I mean, you know, they're not going to be, you know, get out the vote artwork at any other year generally, but a general election, a presidential election, yeah, of course. And the move to the online space is caught there with that artwork. And then Stokerian Vampires, bringing Bram Stoker's Dracula to Dungeon Crawl Classics. That's an interesting take upon vampires. Vampires can be overdone. They're a bit of a cliche, but it's interesting to see what can be done. In literally going back to the primary source that we have for vampires in role-playing. The Dying Wish of Diog the Blue, an option for arcane healing in DCC. So this book is very much a little bit of a return to form, or return to the previous formats. The last couple of issues, they were sort of like, they've got these big adventures that you would run as tournaments. This is a switch back to the format of prior to the pandemic, with lots of things in it, rather than sort of like a couple of big ones. And then we have images from getting to know the Cyclops Down. This is from the first DCC day, you know, event that Goodman Games has run since, organised at various stores up and down the country, in the US primarily. And then we have images from different conventions. So here we are with 2019. So this catches sort of like the games being played, encounters, and so on. So if you played in some of the games run by Goodman Games at these events, then it may well be you will appear in these photographs, immortalised, as it were. So that captures, you know, that as well, the sense of community, the sense of, you know, people enjoying the game. And then we go on to Cyclops Con, which is essentially the con where they went online. We're playing various methods, DCC days online. And then different conventions. So there, I've actually got an image there of Brendan LaSalle at Rincon. It's Michael Curtis at ShireCon. So, and then basically awards there for the Hall of Legends for teams that have done well in the tournaments at Gen Con bookshelves, and Luck Award artwork. Luck Award winners, more artwork. Just small things that bring the event to life. Deadly Hands of Dungeon Crawl Classics, 8 NPCs, 8. The Deadly Hands of DCC, 8 epic NPCs for DCC game, including, we've got there Baron von Strangle, rather than Baron von Strange, Flamehand Jack, Gaijin, rather than Gaijin, or something like that, Jai Taimak, the Warrior Out of Worlds, Lyshell, Shaper of Clouds. So we've got sort of like, you know, a bit tongue-in-cheek tone to these different NPCs. Jian Quan, and it's kind of like, you know, echoing a little bit when we get down to Shang Fu Sai, Master of the Five Elements. We're sort of like, you know, just got at Big Trouble in Little China there with that kind of image. Shri the Devil. So there's those NPCs, and we've got Glaive Expectations, sort of like, and this is talking, you think about playing the game when we've sort of like what it's like, and bringing, in this case, actually talking about, you know, what's it like to use the glaive, kind of inspired by the film Krull. And then the Ziggurat That Never Was, which was epic plans for Gen Con 2020, which never came to pass because, of course, it was cancelled. Everything went online. And then we've got Michael Curtis's, so basically we can actually see it being built there or in process. And then we've got Barrier Peaks Designer's Notes, Entry 1 of sleek and futuristic design. Essentially, this is Michael Curtis's discussion and memories of adapting the expedition to Barrier Peaks, the old original Adventures Reincarnated Volume 3. And then Barrier Peaks Designer's Notes, all the androids were karate fighting and fencing and boxing too. So these nicely accompany that publication. And Lost Cities Designer's Diary Entry 2, so doing the same for the 4th volume as well, The Lost City. And then essentially other things, basically just highlighting the tasks done by staff at Goodman Games to keep the company going, which is very nice. You know, artists, illustrators, you know, warehouse guys, you know, graphic designers, convention specialists, all done in sort of like, you know, little files, as if, you know, they were not members of you know, work with G.I. Joe, but essentially they are the Goodman Joe. These are actually, so it's not G.I. Joe, it's the Goodman Games Joe files, which is a nice touch. And then we've got t-shirt designs and an advert at the end. So that is Goodman Games Yearbook 8, the year that shall not be named. I think this if you're a fan of Dungeon Crawl Classics and you like the community, and I think this is a great addition to the series, really capturing a year that was very different, and you know, and worth highlighting because of the differences. Yeah. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with box containing a book or game, or in this case, a Goodman Games Yearbook or Annual, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.